This week on Convincing Idiots, episode number 213, we celebrate 4 years of doing this idiotic podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We've had some fun. We hope you have some fun. Come have some more fun with us this episode. We're going to talk about comedy in political settings. Is it appropriate? Does it depend the jokes they tell? I don't know. We don't know. We'll share our thoughts. And in honor of the Halloween week, we're going to talk about our favorite murder mystery shows and movies. Keep listening. Keep watching. Be dumb with us. And let's start the show.
You guys enjoy your whatever that is.
All right. Test.
Test.
Call it again?
Convincing idiots.
Convincing idiots.
Called it ham gravy.
I informed them that I sided with the stat man, not just anyone's opinion, the stat man Brian Fisher.
These kids today.
Jingle All the Way is in fact the best Christmas movie of all time.
I need to get Grandma a present, and my herpes is flaring up. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo. I'm the millennial
We're
Santa.
three friends representing three different generations. That's our whole shtick. That's our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nick got the whole poop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing in the sea
Caucasian.
breeze, holding a turd, just mightily. I'm just going hitting hats.
Anyway, on a lighter note,
Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the broadcast. Boys and girls, welcome to the show. This is Convincing Idiots, the 4-year anniversary. My name's Dean, the Zennial.
I'm Brian Gen X.
And my name is Nick, and I'm a millennial. And if this is your first time joining, where the hell have you been? You've been MIA for the last 4 years.
Late.
We are Convincing Idiots, a weekly podcast of three friends representing three different generations. And we get to discuss pop culture news of the day each and every week. And different things that we find interesting in the hopes that you will too. So maybe something perhaps that you will also find interesting is our social media accounts. And you can find links to each and every one of them on Google. Type in Convincing Idiots Linktree, LINKTREE, and follow all of those links on the tree to your heart's content. Be sure to like, subscribe, rate, review. All that type of stuff really helps us out. You can also find all that information on our website, which is convincingidiots.wordpress.com. All that information is there for you. You can also learn a little bit about us on the website. There are ways that you can help out the show if you so choose. Merch store link is up there as well if you like some merch. So, yeah, guys, 4 years. 4 year anniversary. We fucking did it.
I didn't honestly think...
We've never had a 4 year anniversary.
No.
We've done 3.
We did 3.
2, and even
we did
1.
2. We
But
did.
never
I
4.
remember the 1.
Yeah.
Other 2 a little blurry, but I remember the 1.
Yeah.
I
I
had
feel like
a-
4 is already kind of fuzzy for you.
Yeah, a little bit. I had a 10-year once, but that's not the... No, I didn't even get to
Is that the chip you had to give back? From
No,
the
that was a
other-
marriage
oh, okay.
that didn't make it.
Oh, I see. Okay, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, this podcast.
Divorce papers happened even before the fucking 10 got there. No, so gentlemen, we started this in COVID, or literally the week before, like everything shut down.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
no, that's true. I mean,
It was close. Yeah, because we shot the episode.
we were all together in the first
You
one.
guys both came down with COVID. We weren't sick.
No,
but
I never came down with COVID.
Oh.
I'm immune.
Megan did.
Megan did.
That's right.
I tested so many times. Immune. So we all decided to do it on whatever online, Zoom or whatever you want to fucking call it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just found that it made more sense. So we continued from there. Now, I always was the star, right? We all agree with this? No? Oh, no? Okay. Well,
I mean, it's, debatable.
nothing's debatable. Actually, that is honestly, if you're listening to this, if it's your first time, it's weird that it's your first time.
Popularity contest right now, based off the first 5 minutes that you've seen. Who's the star?
How about just who's more handsome?
Well,
Yeah, I was gonna say we're
that's
both
the-
losing to
that's the
Brian.
blue guy.
That doesn't
Yeah,
count. Never
yeah.
mind. I don't want to do that.
yep.
So really, honestly, guys, 4 years. It's been a lot of fun. We're obviously hoping for a lot more.
Yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts?
Well, every year we get together and we, discuss memories of the past, how we started this
Yep.
and everything, and we always say nice things about each other, which is nice, and we
bullshit.
all mean it's the same thing, and I'll do it here again because it's it is very true. But I do find that in this 4th year anniversary, it's a little like looking back 4 years. I don't know why that number is different, but it's like looking back, I'm like I find that I like you guys less almost because
No, I get
all
that.
this time.
Totally get that.
I
Totally get that.
No. In reality, the day of our actual anniversary, you sent through our group chat, Brian, a picture of the basement, and it was like our kind of teaser that we were gonna, start a podcast
Getting
without
ready.
saying as much. And it was a picture of where we shot the very first episode, and it got me in my feelings, man. I was just kind of like, oh man, like
You know what my takeaway from that was? Look at us 4 years later.
different person's house.
Well, the basement doesn't even
We've
exist
made it
for
to a
the
different
podcast.
home. Yeah, right.
Right? He's moved.
Yep.
I'm a lot fatter.
Yeah.
I mean, well, fuck. Let's be honest. I was going through some things.
Yeah.
I weighed a lot less. Now I'm happier and fatter and
Less meth involved. We're happy about that.
right. You kick that shit. That goes a long ways. Kids, listen. So yeah.
But yeah, it is very like I said. We always get together, say nice things. But I love you guys both very much. It's been fun to do this for 4 years.
I
From
love
the
the
bottom of
two
my
of
heart,
you.
I fucking love you guys,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
it's been fun. I mean, it's regardless of what we gain or don't, or the fact that we can do this every week, just if nothing else, to stay in touch and hang out is a very nice thing and a thing I'm very grateful for. So thank you both. And again, I think I probably feel like I'm having deja vu, but thank you, Brian, for doing
Absolutely.
all that you do. We used to say it a lot more, but we assume everyone's a hardcore listener now and they already know this.
Right.
But Brian does all of the editing for the shows and handles basically
the
Dean and I
star
show
and
up,
the producer.
and he tries to keep the train on the tracks. So
Right.
Brian does a lot of laboring.
If you
and-
see steam coming out of his ears tonight,
Yeah.
it's because he had a lot of producing going on.
And even
right.
these past couple months through a semi-strenuous moving process, still, the train keeps going and stuff. So we appreciate it, everything you do. Appreciate both you guys. Love you guys. Appreciate you showing up and being the star every week.
Get out of town.
And being coherent most of the time.
Well, most of the time.
Yeah, less appreciative of your mic. That's why we had to do this in person now. As the
Next-
audio is
next
better now.
week,
Together.
Let's stay tuned next week. I do have it on the
A
line.
different mic that sounds like shit.
We'll see. Tune in to see.
Yeah, some people ask, it's like, well, why do you do it? And some people have asked me, well, do you make any money at this? I'm like, no. And some people is, well, why?
Not that the other two know about.
No.
Don't
And if
tell
you see
them.
Nick, the answer is no.
As he bought a new house. What?
A nicer house, might I add.
Yeah, that's
Coincidence?
We'll
No,
never
sorry.
we'll never pay it off, but it's okay. No, but it's what I tell them the same.
At
type
your
of
age,
thing.
you're not even going to pay off a candy bar.
No. Nope.
He's trying to be nice.
Yeah.
Stop.
I'm
Let
sorry.
him be
I'm
nice
sorry.
to us, for fuck's sake.
I'm sorry.
No, but it's why it's the same thing you did. It's the weekly connectivity with you guys, and it is, and that is fun. So as long as that, and we said this a long time ago, as long as we have fun, we're going to keep doing this, right? And,
Yeah.
And here we are, 4 years later. So is there some work a little bit in the edit? Yeah, but that doesn't outweigh the fact of us getting together, spending some time every week, couple hours. It's very nice, and then again, it's a creative outlet.
Yeah.
Simple as that, really. You know?
I have spent the last 4 years Well, okay. So if it wasn't for this podcast, we would all still be friends. You're my brother-in-law.
Yeah,
you and I have been friends.
Unless your sister does, then that might be different.
Well, I would choose you over her. And for you and I have been friends for many years, and we would all still be friends, but it just wouldn't
talk as much.
There's a closeness that we all have.
Right, you throw a text out here and there, maybe a call, maybe a bar night, once, twice a year.
No, it's true.
This has given us the chance to connect and stay connected, and you to enjoy, the amazing talent that I am, and I appreciate you both for it.
Oh. It's good to be appreciated.
Well, I do appreciate you. I mean, you get to experience what most people don't. According to our ratings, most people don't.
Right.
We are creeping up in India, though.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
India.
All
Yes,
right.
that's right. Yeah. No, but if there's one thing to take away from this, really, if you do listen to this, spend some time, make more time
To listen to this podcast.
and make
to
more time to
spend
talk
with your
to
elderly
your friends. It's just
Oh,
do
your
that,
friends.
right? And now it's part of our weekly routine where we don't even really text that are we doing the show
No.
this week, is we're doing the show.
Yep.
And most weeks we've done it for 4 years.
Yeah, Nick took a
Pretty amazing.
few weeks off to get his breast augmented, but after that,
Yep.
God,
Yep.
it was worth it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
All of
cheers to many more
Cheers.
brothers.
Cheers to
Well,
4 years,
as we
boys.
do that, gentlemen, what are we drinking tonight, Brian?
I have a Great Lakes Oktoberfest from Cleveland, Ohio.
Very good. Nikolai?
I'm enjoying one of Magic City's OGs, vanilla.
And I'm going to give the shout out to a previous guest, my father, whose favorite was Jack Daniels. I'm doing Jack Daniels.
There we go.
With a splash of vanilla Jim Beam, because somebody stole it all before I could get some.
Stole it.
Jeffrey.
Stole it. Yes, Jeff left us high and dry. Our friend
He
Jeff,
did.
longtime listener, Jeff Evans, who we love dearly, robbed us of the opportunity to say that we were filmed in front of a live studio audience. And he skipped out on us.
We were so close.
Yeah, and
Longest
Megan's
time
never
hat
allowed
wear
that, so
of the show.
Yeah, yeah.
what's that?
Longest
Longest time
time
hat wear.
Huge
Yeah,
fan.
for sure.
Huge fan.
Yeah, he's a day oneer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, well, guys, who've done the niceties, Nick, if you
We're done
watched
with that
anything,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tune in next year for more niceties.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Friday night, went to the movies.
Okay. How was it?
It was awesome. We had a nice little family night. We went out to my buddy Moose's Pizza Shop. It's called Mike's Pizza in Canton, located in Canton there. Fantastic meal, New York style pizza. If anyone's interested, it's delicious. Go check them out.
Yeah.
So we went there, and then we went over to Tinseltown in Canton and saw the third installment of Venom. This was The Last Dance, as it was subtitled. I gotta say, I really enjoyed it. I wasn't expecting much from it. Now, full disclosure, total bias. Like, I love the character, as you guys know. Totally love the first movie. Second one was all right, but not nearly as good. This one I liked better than the second one, but it is.
Really?
It is. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
That's kind of sad, actually. It's like it definitely has its sad moments. I don't know how well it's been doing in the box office or what reviews it's been getting. I love Tom Hardy as the character of Eddie Brock and Venom, and that whole storyline with them. It was, like I said, going in, the trailers that I had seen, I wasn't really sold on a lot that I had seen. There wasn't really enough in the trailers that like really drew me in storyline-wise. So I was kind of going into it with not high expectations. But it was a lot of fun. I mean, action-wise, comedy-wise, it was a fun movie to watch. You're not going to see, it's not Black Panther. It's not,
It's not Morbius.
right. Or Doctor
Adam
Strange, as
Webb,
people like, whatever.
Right.
It's not one of the better movies you're going to see as far as storyline or whatever. But it was a lot of fun. It was enjoyable, and like I said, it was kind of sad at the end of it. There are two end credit scenes.
Okay.
One at the very, very end. So
Stan Lee turning in his grave.
as as in
Well,
the
no. I have a question. With a lot of these, especially recently, these post-credit scenes, you wait, you hear that there's one or two, and you wait, and a lot of them kind of shit the bed or kind of just,
yeah,
are nothing. Is this worth it?
they're cryptic. They're very cryptic,
Okay.
I felt. And it could be that maybe, I mean, if someone out there is a much more hardcore fan of different
But you
of the
also got to
Venom
remember
comics,
there's like Secret Wars and like those
Yes.
kind of movies coming up.
there are
so-
things in there that certainly leave openings
Okay, good.
for future tie-ins. I don't know if they'll choose to use them in that way or not, but there are definitely ways that I could, theorize as we were walking out of the theater that could, because that's all I'm really looking for.
Right.
I feel as a fan of both Spider-Man and Venom, it is a crime that the only version on the big screen we've had of Spider-Man and Venom is Topher Grace and Tobey Maguire. I feel like the fans are owed some sort of Tom Hardy, Tom Holland, reiteration of these characters.
I have to
need it
assume you get it.
so badly, but nothing in those end credit scenes that are like I said, like blatant or anything.
Okay.
I'm not giving anything away, but there are definitely ways you could theorize, little ways of tie-ins and things
Okay.
like that. But I really enjoyed it. I liked it. It was a good movie. The whole family liked it, so it was a lot of fun. And then the only other thing that I saw was on Netflix. Started watching The Comeback, which is the story of the 2004 Boston Red Sox.
Oh yeah.
And building that World Series team that came back against the Yankees, after being beat by them in 03.
It was Terry Francona, right?
It was,
Yeah.
A lot of fun characters on that team. It's definitely very interesting. If you like sports, documentaries, or honestly just documentaries in general, I think. I mean, I'm a sucker for sports ones because that's just a tie-in, but I feel like that's one of those ones that it's just a good documentary, even if you don't know shit about baseball. And I'm not a well-versed baseball fan by any stretch, but it was a lot of fun to watch. And I dislike the city of Boston and their sports teams greatly. So that was, it was very interesting still to me. So I would definitely recommend that though. So especially if you were watching baseball at that time, definitely a good watch. So.
Okay.
That's it for me, though. Dean, watch anything cool?
I love the city of Boston. I've been there. I appreciate it. So anybody listening from Boston,
To be fair, I've never been to Boston. Your hockey team keeps hurting me over and over again. That's really, I'm bitter. I'm a bitter Leafs fan. I'm sure your city is lovely. I've been
it
to
is.
Boston.
It's very good. All right. So one thing that I did see, we started Only Murders in the Building.
Mm-hmm.
Great start. Only I think in the first episode, we started the first episode or two of The Bear.
Oh, yeah.
Finally.
Nice. Good.
Okay, let me take a moment to explain, question, and whatever. Good show. I appreciated the story. I appreciated the acting. But I don't understand how in the fuck it won Best Comedy at the...
I don't see it as a comedy.
But
I've
it
watched,
won best,
what are we, 3?
It won
Yeah.
Best Comedy at the fucking TV at the Emmys.
Like, Matty Matheson's far and away the funniest part of the show. Like, it's not
Was that
really
the
a
bearded
comedy.
guy?
The big guy, the fact that, he is a chef. And like in real life, and has had multiple shows.
That's
and so,
where I've
yeah,
seen
he was
him
on
from.
Dead Set on Life was his
Yes,
show on Vice.
yeah.
He's had a couple Vice series and
Yeah.
stuff.
What-
Great Canadian chef.
It's
yeah.
good, but like I don't get how it won the Emmy for Best Comedy. With that
A
said,
couple years ago it did, I think. Yeah.
yeah, it makes no sense. But with that said, fantastic show, highly recommended. I'm glad you guys recommended it.
Yeah, I call it strongly like a drama with like
Right.
comedic parts
As
in
most
it.
dramas
yeah,
should
but-
have,
right?
Because that's life.
Yeah.
Right. I appreciated that. Nope. The other thing that happened was I am now a father of a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carter turned 13 yesterday.
Yeah.
And yeah, We went to dinner in a steakhouse, or what you call a steakhouse. It was a restaurant that serves steak.
A house with steak inside, right? For you to purchase and eat.
And so we went. Megan and I went with Carter's mother, my ex-wife, and her boyfriend, and the five of us sat down and ate steak and celebrated Carter's birthday.
Nice.
Very nice.
Very good. And happy birthday to Carter. Very cool.
Absolutely, 13.
Yep.
And
It's weird, isn't it?
his first request is to go to an expensive steakhouse. So
There you go.
fantastic.
And a scotch, please.
No, I did have an old fashioned, which was quite good. So that's about it for me, guys. Other than one more, I'm only bringing this up because I'm not going to talk. We can talk about it next week. Agatha, all the way. I did watch the finale.
Agatha All the Way is the porn.
Oh yeah, I love
right.
that one.
Yes.
Agatha All Along. I watched the 2-part finale yesterday, and fucking fantastic. We need to talk about it next week. By next week, you guys have watched it, or
I
at
will
least you
try my
have.
fucking best.
And
I will make an honest
Okay.
effort. I've only seen episode 1 so far, but I will make an honest effort.
all right,
will
that
get
would
there.
be very impressive.
I will
if
get
you
there.
watched all the rest.
What does my weekend look like? I'm gonna fucking.
All right,
I'm gonna get
all
there.
right.
We're gonna watch
But
it. I'm gonna power through it.
by next week, the spoiler thing is out the window. We can talk about it in earnest. So
Yeah.
So you're going to spoil it by next week, regardless, and I need to either be up to par or it's on me, right?
correct.
Okay.
Brian.
I did finish Only Murders in the Building season 4 last evening. Again, just like you said, great season. I won't spoil anything, but just again, awesome. And could they have another season afterwards? Perhaps. I think it's just going to keep running. You
Once
know?
the 3 of them die, or at least one of them, I think they would stop
Yeah.
it if one died. But
Yeah.
But it just like every other season, I like the fact that it's a classic murder mystery show, which ties into our main topic later. Again, they all gel so well together. Great cameos, just a lot of fun. So one of my favorite shows on television right now. And I watched the first episode, Allie and I, of Hysteria. That was that
Oh yeah.
Bruce
yeah.
Campbell's, and I said it
Oh,
wrong.
okay.
I thought I
Yeah.
said it was on Hulu. It's actually on Peacock, is where it is. It's
Gotcha.
an original
Can't
Peacock
forget about the cock.
series. Yeah,
Remember.
just one episode in. It's definitely darker than it even looks on the preview. It's
It
definitely
looks
more
kind of like
horror-ish.
that's the one where they start like the metal band and like the girl from
Yeah.
the mom from Modern Families. in it.
Correct.
Okay.
Julie
yeah, it
Bowden-
almost looks
Julie
kind
Bowden.
of campy, not campy, but
Yeah.
like a little like they're. What am I
Well,
looking for? Like a B movie kind of thing.
Kind of,
like
yeah,
it's, you know-
kind of that. So it takes place in 1989. Yeah, 3 kids in high school have a band that's fledgling, but there's real murder in this small town that looks like it's like a satanic rituals or something like that. So in that era, in the 80s, that was a whole big thing anyway. Metal
Sure.
music.
That's
and
how you spent your
Satan.
13th birthday, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely. So there's this whole Satan scare in the
It was
town.
40 in the 80s, not 13.
So that these kids decide let's use the Satanism as a gimmick, like a Motley Crue type thing
For the band.
for the band
Okay.
to get more popularity. They're not Satan worshipers or anything
Right,
like that.
but
So they use that.
Use the gimmick you got.
Right, so that's kind of the premise, and just scary, creepy things are happening, and yeah. So enjoyed the first episode. I'll watch more and come back and review it more. But if you like 80s metal, if you like Bruce Campbell, that type of stuff, you'll definitely enjoy the series.
Very good.
Yep. That's it. Well, then last night we watched Young Frankenstein again.
Yes.
First outdoor movie at the new house. The setup
Nice.
worked out very nicely on the back patio there. So definitely more movies to come, and we're able to do that. But it's the layout's very nice, and to honor the late great Teri Garr, which we'll talk more about in our second segment.
It's nothing better than sitting out there relaxing.
Yes, it's very nice.
Well,
Very
maybe
pleasant.
saving money. Because, you know what? All right. So 4 years,
I'm half hard. Give it
watch
to
this-
me. Don't tease
No,
me.
hold on.
Watch this piece of paper. ladies.
I've done segues after segues here, but honestly, we've done 4 years here on the podcast, and who has been with us from the beginning, literally, because the music you hear
Our intro music, yeah.
is done by Aaron
Yep.
from Blake Insurance. I do the reads. I try to find clever ways to, clever ways.
He even ensures that your podcast enters in a stylish manner.
Right.
Yes.
But I really do, after 40 years, want to thank Aaron Blake a lot for the music and just the support you've given us for the past 4 years.
The laughs, the memories.
Absolutely.
And longer than 4, if we're being honest. I mean,
Correct.
a friend of ours for many years. and
Correct.
yours
I mean, yes.
way longer than
I've been friends with Aaron since school. He's one of the greatest guys I know, and regardless of the read, if there's anybody that actually and loves and enjoys his job from helping people, it's Aaron Blake. He is, you guys can agree,
Oh, yeah.
one of the best human beings
sure.
on the planet.
He's one of the few people that the very first time I met him, I was just like, this is a good guy. Like, you can
Right.
just tell. And he is.
And he has taken that, his lifelong niceness, if you will, and he has given that into the community with insurance, Erie Insurance. He is part of. It's normally like
It's above all else in
right.
service.
It's normally a line along,
Yeah.
along that where. So I will honestly. 234-571-5359. Honestly, if you are in the Northeast Ohio area and you are looking to save money,
On
actually,
home, auto, business, rent.
well, honestly, I can say this and this isn't a bit. Yesterday, Megan and I were talking. We are needing to do some insurance stuff. I didn't even call him. I texted him. Not from that number, because I
Need to do insurance stuff.
Right.
Please
I do
help.
have his personal number, but I texted him and he replied instantly, and he was very honest of like, this can work, this won't work, is it even worth going this route? He is 100,000% the businessman that not only do we want to be associated with this podcast, but that you need just to save money and just to even if you just talk to him just to get to know him. That's a good phone call in itself, right?
That is.
So again, if you need insurance, you want to save money on you have insurance, shitty insurance, like I used to have, and you want to save money, call 234-571-5359 or visit Blake Insurance LLC for your free 5-minute quote today. See, I got back on
There you
track
go. I like it.
But honestly,
Yeah, legitimately, I have insurance through him, and he. Not only did I get it because we're friends, but like it literally did save me money.
yeah,
So-
absolutely. It's not a
Legit.
gimmick.
Yeah.
It literally saved both of us money. Have you?
The gimmick is that he associates with us. That is the
Right.
The thick
I
part.
refuse to do business with Aaron. Yeah. Other than that,
Seriously, people.
There can only be one amazing person, and it is me, not Aaron.
Both humility and amazingness couldn't fit in one room. So,
yep.
but seriously, Aaron Blake, thank you for the 4 years of the music, the helping people save money. Thank you.
You're the best.
Yeah, Barberton, Norton, Wadsworth, and Botswana area.
Yeah,
Getting
give
into
him
as
a call.
well. He's expanding. Hello, those of you in Botswana.
Call Blake Insurance.
There you
Tell
go.
him that he sent you.
Yep, that's right.
All three.
Yep. All right, so we're going to take a break, and we're going to light a candle over here. Dean has a shrine to insurance.
We're only lighting the candle because I just farted. So
The Aaron Blake shrine over here off camera. He's going to light the candle for that, and
it's a blow up doll.
that's right. We're going to come back with some pop culture headlines in our Ask an Idiot segment. Be right back. Gen X Brian here from the Convincing Idiots podcast. If you're enjoying our show, tell a friend. And if you're not, well, tell two enemies. All right, welcome back to the Aaron Blake Love Fest podcast.
As it should
ladies
be.
and gentlemen.
I woke up in love this morning.
That's right.
Went to sleep with insurance on my mind.
Got a boner, it was so fine.
Yep. What's the S in service? I
Brian
don't know
putting
what
in
that
the hard work right here, right now. It's right in front of you.
No, apparently,
right before your eyes.
apparently we're putting in the hard work.
Brian, what are the topics of the day?
I
Yes, please
mentioned
tell
I
us.
watched Young Frankenstein last evening with the great Teri Garr. She just passed away, age 79. Most known for her roles in, of course, Young Frankenstein. Tootsie, she was in Mr. Mom with Michael Keaton. Also had a brief recurring role in Friends as Phoebe's mom. I kind of
that's who
forgot
that
about
was?
that. Yes.
Shit.
You should do your
Yes.
research.
I didn't know she passed. I mean, I knew that, but I didn't know. Okay.
Yep. So
She was
just
great.
very funny. Now in Young Frankenstein, she was she was like 29 years old, beautiful, funny. That movie's 50 years old, by the
Yeah.
way, this year. I forgot Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein came out in the same year, 1974,
Right. Wow.
which is crazy. Big year for Gene Wilder and Mel Brooks. But anyway, she was great in those movies. She's not the star, not the featured person, but she played like those support roles very, very good. In Young Frankenstein, she had the thick accent. Inga just played off Gene Wilder and everybody so well, So I thought she was hilarious. Certainly a loss. It makes me extra. I don't know about you guys, but when a comedic actor or actress passes, it's a little extra sad to me because they spent something that they clearly enjoyed was entertaining people and making people laugh. I mean, everybody has to go at some point, but again, just a little extra sad when one of those folks passes on.
That is true.
So-
We're a year removed from losing Matthew Perry, and that one fucking. I mean, he, everyone knew he had his struggles and stuff, but that one. It fucked with me different than like losing somebody. I don't know. It's just, like you're right. I've never thought about it in that light, but that is true. Losing a comedic actor, someone who brought so much joy, it stings a little extra.
Yeah.
I like that when I talk about the life and comedic love that we have for Teri Garr, and he doesn't even talk about her. So
She was great on Friends with Matthew. I was
You
the
didn't even
tie-in.
fucking say it.
I didn't know. I've just learned that. I mean, again, that's no disrespect. I've never seen that movie. You know what I mean? I knew it, and I knew that movie was special to you. So when you'd said I knew that was somebody that you were familiar with. I did not realize necessarily who it was until you just said that. But I will say right now, I always say every time that episode comes on where she when she first comes back into contact with Phoebe and Phoebe is not aware that is her biological birth mom, the way that she somehow plays
Almost
Lisa
mimics-
Kudrow's Phoebe
almost
like to
mimics
her
her to
is
it.
Yeah.
it
You
was
see the
really
mannerisms
brilliant,
are similar,
and I love it. It's
yeah.
fantastic. So I mean, she
She's
wasn't
so-
in many episodes of Friends, but the ones she was in, I mean, she's fantastic.
she was so good that like even before they even said it, like you as the audience knew that that's Phoebe's mom.
Sure,
because
yeah.
of like the way she
Her mannerisms,
Mannerisms
and make
and
it floopy,
played-
making up words, and I
Right.
feel all floopy, and
and
whatever.
obviously Phoebe wasn't going to be aware of that.
Right. Yes.
But as the audience, it was very good. Like you said, Brian, comedically, she was just amazing. She was one of the people that I grew up with. She was the side actress is not a nice
supporting
way to put
type
it. Supporting
actress.
actress.
That was her role. Yeah.
To me, she was just always on different things that you saw. Very funny. But honestly, if you want to see some of her best work, Google or wherever you can find it.
Convincing Idiots Linktree.
No, that's not where you're going to find this.
Okay.
But her
Linktree,
appearances on David Letterman.
Okay.
David Letterman actually just came out and said that she was one of the best guests she ever did, because early in his career, early in like the mid 80s to late 80s, she would banter with him and like fuck with him, and he would fuck with her back, and like it was such a dynamic and funny experience to watch her on the David Letterman show. Was on the NBC at that point. But she was, so take away the idea of, and she was such a brilliant comedic actress, the timing that she had of just improv with David Letterman, look it up on your own deal. It was brilliant, it was funny, she was on there a lot. So there's a lot of different episodes you can find, but yeah, just amazing.
Very good. Yeah, if you haven't seen Young Frankenstein, you definitely go give it a watch.
It's one of those ones I'm going to bust out the Jazz Cabbage to one night and
That
watch.
That would be fine.
Yeah.
Especially if you like the classic
should do it
Universal
together.
monster movies,
I like
definitely
that.
has that feel to it for sure. So, another death here, guys. I don't know if you guys are Grateful Dead fans or not, but Grateful Dead founding member Phil Lesh, the bass player, also recently passed away. 84 years of age. Grateful Dead's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I figured at least mention it because Grateful Dead's such a big band, but for me, no disrespect to his talent. I'm sure he's a very talented musician
Brian
and everything.
hates the Grateful Dead.
I don't know if I hate him. I just I never got it.
Yeah.
It's just a band is like it's like a Rush type thing where I just don't.
Okay,
quite
those
get
are
it.
close to fighting words. I'm going to need you to calm down.
That's just me.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
So, are you guys Grateful Dead fans? I mean, do you get the whole Grateful Dead following and everything?
I get it, as in, like, I understand what people enjoy about it, I guess, in their own way. Like, I understand the type of person that is the Grateful Dead fan, right? The Deadhead. I personally, like, I remember growing up and I would see when we would, it's a really niche and weird thing to say, but like, we would go to Myrtle Beach on vacation, and in those like little beach front stores that sold boogie boards and stuff, they always had like those dancing bears on like koozies, and that said Myrtle Beach and the different color trippy looking bears, and then you'd always see the skull with the lightning and the different imagery of the Grateful Dead. And I could honestly say, I was actually, this is a few years back, I'm talking to Robin and I'm like, I don't know that I could tell you a Grateful Dead song. I know what the imagery is. I know who Jerry Garcia is, but I don't know if I could tell you a song. And then we looked it up on Apple Music, and one of the more well-known ones came up, and I'm like, okay, heard this song before. Didn't know it was them. Not what I expected the music to sound like. Didn't like jive with, I guess, what I was thinking. But I mean, they're definitely they're incredible musicians. They're not similar to you. They're not really my cup of tea. I don't know of a scenario that would ever come about that I would just be like, I'm going to throw in some Grateful Dead.
Let's sit back
No
and
disrespect.
relax.
It's not bad. It's just, it's not in my repertoire. But fantastic musicians, and you can't argue with, all the years and all the fandom. I mean, to this day, I mean, it's pretty staggering, what a hardcore following they have. So.
Yeah. Dean?
So, if you are thinking about in the annals of music itself, you have parrot heads and you have deadheads.
Yeah.
You were so prolific in music that you created your own fan base to have their own name.
Swifties.
Well, that's true.
Right.
Yeah. Not many.
So, I mean,
Kiss
we
Army
weren't
is a
doing
handful.
this.
Yeah.
Right.
Lady Gaga has the Little Monsters. Rihanna has the.
That's a whole other level when you get to that
Exactly.
level
So,
of fan
and
base,
they were one of the first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You won't, you have the Swifties and all of this, but the Deadheads were one of, they were probably before the Parrot Heads, right?
Oh, yeah.
Given the 1960s and what the Grateful Dead meant to music then. I will actually go next in saying that, like you guys, I'm not fully invested in the Grateful Dead music. I was never a fan. I know their music and I appreciate it, but it's just never my bag.
Sure.
But what I do appreciate is what those guys did throughout the 1960s and beyond. They created not just Hall of Fame music, but they created a Hall of Fame lifestyle for a lot of people who would choose to travel across the country just to see one band. You two are huge live music fans, where you will go to different venues. Oh, this band's playing, I gotta go see them. They created a fan base that would travel from fucking New York to LA
Right.
to see this band. So what these guys did and what he did as part of this band is unimaginable. Like, you're not going to have anymore a band that can come along like that. And yes, you have the Swifties and stuff. Those, no offense, Taylor Swift is a fine music act, and she's
Goddamn
relevant.
right she is.
But they created a revolution with their music, and for him to be part of that is remarkable and amazing. So I know I can't say much about him as a person, but I can speak of how I feel about the music and the Grateful Dead itself. So
Yeah, we get a couple of guys from Lake Milton that hang out by the window here, and we do an episode like this. That's
Feel like
that's
I'm
about
on
the
the-
best
on the-
we got.
sure,
Good Morning America.
Yeah,
they are.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
But that's my deal.
It's something.
Something.
It's not quite the Grateful Dead level.
It's something.
you
It's
know.
something.
We're big in Lake Milton. We are. Yeah,
You're
absolutely.
big in your pants.
Ours is we'll be grateful when we are dead.
That's right. Yeah. We'll be grateful when you're dead. That's the thing. People
We're gonna be like
speaking
Van
of.
Gogh. We're gonna be appreciated after our fucking.
Yeah.
Too cool for our own time,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah, before our time.
You really should cut your ear off at some point to
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
kind of push this along, if you don't mind.
I was Paul Stanley for Halloween most recently. So.
Yes.
I don't think it has anything to do with cutting your ear off, but
Well, he only had one ear until he had it
That is
reconstructed.
right.
When he was born with one with a.
What?
Yeah,
That's true. It's a
he
true
only had
story.
one ear. He had
did he
an
have a
ear,
hole? Could he hear out?
He had an ear constructed. What was it, like the early '80s or
Yes,
mid
when he-
'80s?
What the fuck do you get an ear constructed out of?
I don't know. Butthole meat? I don't know.
Oh, why not?
I don't know.
Yeah. Groupie.
Yeah.
I smell
Flesh.
gas.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oliver's
Always
made
to
me
the
watch
left.
history like 8 times, so I know exactly.
That's right. He grew,
Yeah.
That's one reason he grew long hair, is to
Yeah,
hide
to
his
cover up the
ear.
one ear thing. Yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
that's
never
right.
knew that.
True story. Yep. All right. So,
Who else
We-
died?
huh? No one else died. Well, some say maybe comedy died for an evening, perhaps.
Listening to this podcast.
So, yeah. Well, that too.
Oh.
Yeah. Man, many times over in 4 years, some say, in Peru. You know. I don't know. We get listeners in Peru. That's a
They
true
notoriously
story.
don't like the things you
No.
say. They comment all the
I
time.
can't blame them.
No. Nope.
Peruvians.
I-
Not a fan of Dean.
Nope. Nope. So at a recent
No love for Dean.
Trump rally, I'm sure if you've listened to any type of political, and that's not a political show, we're not going to get into political
The
talk.
fuck it isn't.
necessarily.
Yeah, no shit.
But,
Finish the statement. We're about to.
but comic Tony Hinchcliffe
Uh-huh.
was among the speakers at Madison Square Garden this past Sunday, and he made a series of jokes that included racial stereotypes, including calling Puerto Rico a, quote, floating island of garbage. So raised a lot of eyebrows. It got some people upset. Some
So these people have never seen a Trump rally before then? So
Well-
they were caught off guard?
Some people say that if you're at a political rally supporting a political candidate, that you probably don't want to come in with any type of racial jokes necessarily.
Again, I feel like he thought
Literally,
he was safe there.
that is what.
Yeah, well,
I'm sorry.
See, this is
We're not
our
supposed to be political.
We're asking an idiot question coming up here. So, he did. Trump did lose a couple recent endorsements by some more popular Puerto Rican music artists that had recently supported him, and now said, "I renounce," because you allowed this type of joke to go on. Trump's stance was, I don't really know who this guy is. Someone kind of put him out there. I really don't know his act. Now, this same guy, if you've watched the Tom Brady roast, same comedian was there.
Well, he has a podcast in a YouTube channel called Kill Tony.
Yes. So it's very similar humor. Let's put it that way. So he really was, very direct and brash on the Tom Brady roast as well. So it's not like this is unusual humor for him.
Is he Puerto Rican?
No.
Okay.
Nope. But he was making fun of people. I don't know. One guy, he said and this is in the Tom Brady roast. He's so Jewish that he only watches football for the coin toss, which is pretty. I don't know. I mean, so again, if it
That's
depends,
a funny joke.
but that was in a roast.
Correct.
Yes. But so the guy took the same humor to the Trump rally. Now, is some of this certainly people trying to find any reason for a political soundbite? Of course. I mean, both sides are, whatever side you're voting for, both sides are looking for every opportunity, especially now with less than a week to go in the election. When this drops, the election will be tomorrow. So by the way, get out and vote. Whoever you vote for, it is vote.
No, vote for the right one.
That's right. Well, there's that too. But anyway, so
goddamn country.
I'm asking you the question. There's a couple points to this question. So, are people making too big of a deal of this? It's a guy that it's the same type of humor he normally has. He happened to be up on a stage. He was hired to go up and tell jokes. He told the same jokes he probably would tell on a stage if you're going to see him somewhere. Should they have vetted him more closely? I mean, is it inappropriate to use those type of jokes if you're representing a political candidate, right? I guess that's really it. So are some people just, being too woke and snowflakey and bleh, or, hey, this guy is representing a political candidate. Either side, there's a limit to the type of jokes that you should tell, even if you normally use certain type of humor. So, Dean, you have a famous opinion that not funny is an opinion, not a fact. What do you think about all this?
Yes, that's not funny is your opinion.
That's correct.
Right.
Yes.
It's on my Twitter feed there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so.
But on Dean's headstone, we plan to put "that's not funny" is a fact.
Right. Proving.
The irony that his lifelong mission was to actually prove
Yeah.
that it is.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
So, I have a few things.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to bring this up, so let's do it. First of all, the comedian has the right to tell jokes. That's what comedians do.
He was a comedian hired to tell jokes. You're right. Yep.
He should have been vetted. And I'm sure that he was vetted. I mean, I don't care what the fuck.
Somebody had to have seen him.
Somebody had to have seen him and
book
knows
him.
what sort of jokes he told.
Right.
Whether you like that comedy or not, that's not the issue. He was telling jokes. If he would have told that same joke on his show, perfectly fine. Mm-hmm. But he needs to know, and the people that hired him, more importantly, needs to know what sort of jokes he was going to tell. And I guarantee you, no political rally, Democrat, Republican, or whatever fucking group is having a rally, would not have to read these jokes before they told a joke in front of thousands of people and millions on TV. Mm-hmm. They would have definitely had to have read those jokes. no working comedian would have gone, nope, you can't see it, you can't hear it, nope, he would have given it to them and gone, how is this? And they would have gone, yes or no. I'm sure that he had worse jokes that they go, no, let's stay away from that.
Sure.
Those are the jokes they go, all right, people will find that funny. Which in the arena they did. If you listen to it, they applauded and laughed.
Sure.
But they weren't politically sophisticated enough to understand that millions of
How
people...
that's dangerous to your campaign.
Correct. Like they said, and I've always said, what's that?
Is it dangerous to that campaign? I don't know. But anyway, that's
Well,
political talk.
we're going to
but,
find out
yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's so many people out there that are on both sides. They're okay with the joke. They're not okay with the joke. As a joke told on that show or whatever slam comedy or roast comedy that he does, you know what you're about to listen to.
Sure.
You've clicked on it
Yeah.
to listen to it. Whether you find it actually funny or not, you're going to go, all right, I don't really care for that, or that's funny.
Yeah.
But if you're tuning into a political rally and you hear that, because you're tuning in the political rally to hear your closing arguments of why to vote for this guy, and you hear, because it wasn't only him,
Or just to watch him dance, maybe.
right? But did you guys watch the rally at all? Any bits of it or whatever?
I didn't watch this.
Okay,
No.
he told those jokes. There were other people that told just of or beyond more racist things than Tony did.
Yeah.
And people cheered just the same because it was a political rally.
Yeah.
I'm torn because, like I've said, even years ago, I said humor is subjective, but know your goddamn audience, Jesus. And maybe he was doing it.
I think they
I
did.
think they felt pretty comfortable with the audience.
But here's the thing about that though. He's going to flourish. Whether Trump wins or loses, he's got his name out there. Everybody now knows who
Right.
Tony Hinchcliffe is. Whether you hate him and you go to your shows, or you love him and go to your shows, he's got his name out there. He did what he tried to do. Whether he believed the jokes that he was telling or not, because like a lot of comedians, you write a joke to be funny, not that you believe in it. There's comedians that talk about like murdering their mom.
Right.
Or pushing an old lady down the stairs. They never do those things. They're telling a joke.
Sure.
I don't know what or who Tony Hinchcliffe believes in, so I can't say that like he told those jokes because like he wants Trump to win and he hates all these people. I don't know. Maybe he was just telling a joke,
Right.
and this was the platform given, and it was a huge platform, and now even bigger because he's been chastised for it. What it comes down to is the morons leading this campaign that let these jokes happen
Right.
on that stage. That joke would have been fine over here, over there, not on this stage. Know your fucking audience. It's an ill-run campaign, and I hope they lose. So, anyways,
Yeah. So I don't know what more to add to that. I mean, I was gonna like break it down. I like you and pro sanity, but yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's people getting bent out of shape necessarily. Like, in my personal opinion, in my view, like you said, if I'm turning on a comedy special, I know I'm going to hear some wild shit probably.
Gloves are off.
And
Say
that's what you
anything.
know going into. Like I'm just basically echoing the things you said. Not the arena for that, I would say. But like you had kind of alluded to, like, they. I don't think people running that campaign and if knowing the types of things he was going to say necessarily felt that was off-brand or out of place. with some of the other things that go on at these rallies and things that are said by the person fucking running. So, I don't know. I mean, and it does not shock me to hear a story like that. It's not like, oh my God, can you believe at a Trump rally somebody? Yeah, I do. I fucking do.
Yeah, because that
I
was
believe
just one
everything
person.
now. There's everything. Like everything exists. Like it's just,
There was
it
worse
breaks
shit
my brain,
said.
but it's not shocking. I don't agree with it. I'm not personally offended by it. I'm not any type of. I mean, I don't know. That's what I always. The things about people being woke or snowflake or sensitive or whatever. It's like, I personally, speaking for, I'm a straight white guy living in the United States of America. Straightish guy. Whitish. Parts of me.
Hold on.
Now
That was a German rap.
But all joking aside, I'm not offended by anything. You know what I mean? Nothing is offensive to me personally. It's just more on the decency side towards other people, personally, from my own standpoint. So yeah, no, it doesn't. None of this is shocking. And I don't know. It's. I would say not the arena for that. I don't agree with much that happens on those campaigns or on that side of the ticket. So certainly biased in that regard. But I mean, Dean said it perfectly. I mean, he did what he went there to do, I guess, and who knows if it's just comedy or if it's meant to. But there is a level of danger to that.
Right.
Okay, you could be saying something that you deem personally harmless, and you go, "I'm just telling jokes. I'm a comedian." That's fine. But when it comes to politics, especially in this landscape right now in which we currently live, a lot of people, it's not just politics. It's serious, and some people take words and ideologies and things to heart and act on them, and we're to a point to where some people's ignorance is dangerous.
Yeah.
And that's where I kind of come down on it. That's where I would take caution with that kind of stuff. But
Even in the joke,
and it's not even like, I mean, he's not out there like calling for like, I mean, you're certainly talking down on people at mass, which is wrong.
No, but think about the people that approved the joke or approved him going on, because like what they said about like nobody knew what he was going to say. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. You don't have a rally like that in a legitimate political campaign and not know.
Well.
Go ahead.
Well, you said legitimate.
I got you. No, but you don't. I mean, there are legitimate people there vetting what somebody's going to say. Not necessarily the speeches, but they're going to read the speeches, or at least they should.
Yeah.
And those people that read those jokes or heard of their jokes didn't realize that Puerto Rico is a territory that votes for president. But it's mine.
Sure.
Even if after this you've seen these pictures of like, oh, these piles of trash on Puerto Rico's shores that prove that he was telling the truth, that Puerto Rico is an island of trash. And then later to come to find out, just like everything else from those kind of people, that those pictures are stock photos from other places, not from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, from everything I've seen and whatever, I don't know if you guys are familiar, seems like a beautiful fucking place. And I know there's different political sides of the idea, especially in Puerto Rico, but I think Puerto Rico should be a state.
Yeah.
It's been bandied about for the past 20-some years, but
I think it's like just hiring a comedian for anything. If you're a corporation or a political party or whatever it is, if you hire a comedian to entertain your audience, like you said, it might be fair. It might be fine within the confine. If there's no video and there's nothing going on, and it's just within the confines of that audience, then you could debate, are the jokes in general great or not? Okay, well, whatever. But you're there, and you do know your audience maybe in that respect, but you have to have enough common sense, I think, anymore that whoever you hire, someone's going to record it on a cell phone
century.
or otherwise, and it's going to get out there, and whatever is said, you have to take some responsibility for that. It's really as simple as that. And if you don't want to take that risk of whatever who you hired to get out there in the public, then don't do it. Either don't hire that person at all, or like you said, you got to have more careful vetting or something like that. But once it's out there, you can't really complain. You can't.
Right.
You know that you
have to take your lumps.
Exactly. Right. So I don't know. So is the humor itself in question? Maybe a little bit. I don't know. But again, it's just what this guy does. He's said very racial jokes before that. He probably would make fun of anybody. He's not.
Right.
Sure.
But I don't know.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Yes, I don't think it's a matter of people just thinking you're going too far with being snowflakes, whatever. Again, both sides are looking for every opportunity for any type of soundbite to bring the other one down, and this happened to create a very viral talking point. It'll go away by a couple days. There'll be something else to talk about.
Actually, by the time you hear this, it's old.
Probably. That's true.
I mean,
Yeah.
proven fact of the idea that, regardless of the lies we told earlier in the show, we didn't know each other before this. Brian hired these two idiots, and he's regretting it because of the horrible joke that Nick tells
We
on
did
a regular
advertise
basis.
ourselves as highly trained comedians, and
Yeah.
He didn't vet us, so it's really his problem.
you got to wear that. That's
Yeah,
on you.
It's on you.
Yeah, the horrible off-color jokes off camera. It's just, we're saving those up for the premium membership.
He tells most of them.
You just have to pay for the membership someday to get access to those. But
Right.
yeah.
Have I told you about our link tree?
Actually, that's how I met Brian. It was behind a dumpster. I had to pay an extra fee. It's
All right. Well, we talked about maybe murdering comedy and
we have.
Yeah, and we've tried over the past 4 years to do so ourselves, but
I've never been more successful for anything in my life.
Take that, Dad. You said I'd never amount to anything.
You think something's funny? Fuck you.
Well, we're going to talk about more murder mysteries in our main segment. I'm going to bring that to you right after the break on this Halloween evening that we're filming this on.
Mwahaha.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back to a very spooktacular post-Halloween episode. 4-year anniversary of
Christmas
Convincing
time now.
Idiots. It is Christmas time now. Of Convincing Idiots, I am Millennial Nick alongside Gen X Brian and Zennial Dean. And we are joining you for this third segment this evening. We have been killing it all night long. And the only thing... What are you doing?
Nothing.
We've been killing... Oh, my micro penis? We've been killing it all night long. And some of you may be wondering how we are able to do this so well, 4 years deep. But I will tell you, it is no mystery. That's right. It is the friendship that binds. It is you, the listeners and viewers. And speaking of killing
We're all
it
friends.
and mysteries, I have an idea. Why don't we talk about our favorite murder mystery shows and movies for our final segment?
Ooh, I love
Yeah,
that.
it's spooky season, at the end of spooky
I talk
season.
about how I murdered that ass.
No, you sit in that. You just sit in that. Just you and the squeaking of the chair.
long
this
before
week.
you
Have a
fucking
chair.
have to
You
edit
picked up on
this.
Okay. Brian, would you like to give us the outline? What are we doing?
We're doing what I just
Murder
did.
mysteries, right?
Yes,
We're talking
murder
about
mystery shows
Tap that
or
ass.
movies. Doesn't have to be if it's a show. It could be a series, or it could be an episode you want to name, or again, just a movie that centers around a murder mystery.
Yeah.
You know what the greatest mystery of all is? Dean has a girlfriend upstairs.
It is a mystery.
In the very house that we record in for our 4-year anniversary, there was a woman who was chosen.
Yeah.
This man. She's asleep upstairs.
Yeah.
She's a goddamn saint.
All right.
Yeah,
Who's kicking us
we've
off?
had Mystery Inc. on the case for years. They can't fucking figure it out. Yeah.
Let's all toast our girls having bad taste.
A human female woman
Yeah.
that has chosen this life.
Yeah.
Cheers. Cheers to them.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to start.
Please do.
We should say that, by the way. You did say that jokingly, but we didn't say it at the beginning of this. We'll say it now. But so our lovely partners.
They don't edit.
No,
They don't help.
No, but they do.
Well,
they do support this.
Or do they?
They-
Yours do?
No,
I don't know that mine does.
no, but
She doesn't punch you when you do it, so that's a
That's
help.
true. That is support.
And she really wants to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wants to punch me for a lot of things.
That's
probably.
a good point, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you to you.
our lovely
lovely
Thank you,
ladies.
Allie,
Yes.
for putting up with his ass. Thank you. No,
Yes,
seriously.
thank
Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Allie.
Yes. Sorry, I just had to mention.
Good. Good deal. All right. I'm going to kick us off here.
Awkward.
This is my favoriteest murder mystery
I
that
didn't even
is...
say anything.
Shit. Shush. This is my favoriteest, newest one. Okay? And we've already mentioned it on the show as you guys both discussed it. Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah.
Fantastic show. I would imagine it's probably on everybody's list here. Is it?
It is.
It
Okay.
is.
So it's just famously well done. Like you said, it got a classical kind of air to it. It's and the Martin Short and Steve Martin playing off of one another are just fantastic. Selena Gomez. I remember when that show first started, and I was like,
What an odd pairing.
"Yeah, Selena
Originally.
Gomez. Like,
Yeah.
really? Those are the three? That's weird."
But, like,
but
within,
it
like,
works
halfway
so
into
good.
the first episode, you're like,
Oh yeah.
oh,
yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, and she ties. She really is. She is the rug that ties that room
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
Yes.
Because you don't, I mean, if you just put those two in, I mean, they're just going and going.
Sure.
You
yeah.
need somebody
to break it up.
to hold it down, and that's what she does.
Yep.
Yeah, she's and she has that. If you were listening to her just as like a pop star or whatever, you wouldn't think that she has just like that everyday girl, sensibility. That like just like you are. She's the next door neighbor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, she's self-doubt, anxiety.
Yeah.
It's a whole. It just plays it so well. Like you say, it's in every woman, if you will, everyday woman.
And
you
the
know
whole
what's sorry? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say the theme of the whole show, just they borrow from like you said earlier of the 80s or the 50s, 60s. They go through every genre of like a murder mystery and sprinkle it throughout the whole series. It's brilliant.
Yeah. You mentioned the whole dynamic of the girl next door thing and the anxiety and the self-doubt.
That's your role here.
That's right. But you know what is right next door to us, really?
What?
And will never give you self-doubt or anxiety?
What?
Ownership of an electric bike. That's right. And we have
Albert's-
friends.
Albert's
Albert
bowled
fell
over.
the fuck over.
He was
His
bowled
mind was
over
so
by
blown.
savings, yeah.
My God. That's right. That's right. They're not so far away. Right next door, Carrollton, Ohio, our friends at RPM Bike Shop have the finest electric bikes for you to ride. Either one of you. Even you. They probably have
But
ones
Nick,
with
I'm so
little extra
heavy.
side rails so you don't fall out the sides.
But Nick, I'm so fat. No electric bike could hold me.
Oh, well, theirs have all the power in the world that you need. If you don't believe me, go to their website, Dean. rpmbikeshop.com. Easy enough to remember. Hell, you know what? Open that Facebook app. Go right to that search bar. Type in RPM Bike Shop.
Not on Grinder.
That's right. They're
Oh yeah, this is porn.
Carrollton, Ohio. That's right. And you know what? maybe not now as we're recording this because it's after business hours, but tomorrow morning you should give them a call at 330-808-7792. You know what? That goes double for you out there. 330-808-7792. Give them a call, see what they can hook you up with their fine selection of electric bikes, and kiss your days of self-doubt and anxiety goodbye as you, the fresh new girl next door on your electric bike, are riding into your future.
That bike is beautiful.
Isn't it? That's what I'm
Just
fucking
like
saying.
you.
I've been saying it for like 3 years probably, but yeah.
Wow.
I've been telling you I was beautiful for longer than 3 years.
I've known it all my life.
Yeah, no.
That'd been
Yeah.
weird because you were a child, but anyways.
Hey boy.
Look at that beautiful kid over there.
boy.
Look at that little boy in the monkey bars. Look at him stretch those arms. Ooh, look at that stretch. Oh, that torso goes down so far.
I don't like it anymore.
Okay.
Brian, what's yours?
All right.
I don't want it anymore.
Brian?
Yes. There was an episode on Scooby-Doo Mysteries where Phyllis Diller was brutally murdered. I don't know if you guys ever watched that one or not.
No.
And no, that's just a joke. Although there was a Phyllis Diller episode of the Scooby-Doo Mysteries. No, but one that is a very scary movie, one of my favorite thriller movies of all time, and a very good murder mystery if you think about it. The Silence of the Lambs.
Ooh,
Sure.
that's good.
That's a very good one,
1991. You don't know. You see who the serial killer is. That was interesting about that movie because you see who the killer is, and then certainly in the movie, I mean, many people have seen it by now, but that's the type of movie that you see how the detective, how they piece together the clues to catch up to the killer.
That's true.
By the end
You don't need, in a movie or TV show, you don't need it to be like a murder mystery.
Who is it? Who done it?
Right. You can find out like immediately
Right.
and still be a good murder mystery.
Yeah,
You-
right.
You know, because the idea and the joy of it is watching the detectives and victims or whatever try to figure it out. And even in then, they're going to kind of flip in and kind of morph and fuck you up as a viewer.
Right.
So even if they go, first episode, killer, it's still going to bring you on a ride.
Right.
It makes it enjoyable.
Yeah. Great movie, and certainly full of many awesome performances that won Academy Awards. So for some reason, if you haven't seen The Silence of the Lambs and you want a good thriller, sit down, check that movie out.
Good pick.
It'd be very weird that anybody that would be watching or listening to a podcast like this hasn't seen Silence of the Lambs. Like Nick. So
Have you
I'm
seen it?
gonna.
I've seen Silence of the Lambs. Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I would not have been.
I've seen all of them actually.
Yeah, there's a few.
I mean, like the Red Dragon and then was the Hannibal was the
Yeah.
Yep.
I talked about this last week before, something like that. I'm going Clue.
Sure.
I knew you were gonna do Clue. I fucking knew you were gonna do Clue.
Clue is actually we watched because Nora hadn't watched it, so we watched it last weekend, and it is in it. I try to watch it, at least once a year.
Bi-weekly, whatever.
Yeah, it's such a good movie, and it was so much fun this week to watch it through the lens of somebody who's never seen it before. Because I'm watching it and we're like 3/4 of the way through, and I'm like, Nora, you think you know who did it or whatever? And Megan's like, I don't. I'm like, she hadn't even seen it either.
Okay. Yeah.
We watched the play. We went to see the play at Weather Vane, but she'd never seen the movie. So, dude, it's enjoyable. Tim Curry is brilliant. The whole cast.
Madeline Kahn.
Madeline. The Flames.
Christopher Lloyd.
The Flames.
Yeah.
If Robin watched this podcast, she would enjoy that. But yeah,
Sadly, she shan't.
she didn't know.
Never.
Clue is, honestly, if I broke it down, it would probably be one of my favorite movies, period.
Yeah, one of the unique things too is that they film different endings, with
Yes.
different culprits.
Yeah.
And they played those different endings in different
Throughout
parts
the
of the country.
Oh, interesting.
So
And then when it finally went to HBO, they
see all of
they showed all of them.
That's the one that
clever.
I saw.
I guarantee you saw that episode.
Probably.
Where like this,
Well, it's-
it could have been this way. It could have been this way.
Yes.
And then at the end, this is what really happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So throughout the country, they gave 2 to 3
Oh,
different
interesting.
endings. So New
That's
York
cool.
saw, and like they didn't see like the Tim Curry, ending.
Yeah.
They saw the Madeline Kahn ending.
very clever.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then finally when it came to HBO, they showed the idea of this, but this is what really happened.
Okay. That's cool.
Just because of that, simply, I love Clue.
That's a cool idea.
So yeah, my number one, and probably my number one is Clue.
And again, probably one of the top 2 movies based on a board game.
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The movie about Stratego,
Ooh, that's up there.
probably number 1.
Sure.
Yeah.
Don't count out Trouble. The P. Diddy story?
Yeah.
Ooh.
4 years. Work up to that joke, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, man, that was. I'm about to like do a stupid joke. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
AIDS. There's got to be AIDS involved in that somewhere. Anyway, all right. So,
He doesn't.
all right. Next up, this is actually this is a real murder mystery, and one that to this day has not been solved, and fascinates me endlessly. Big lead up here, but I'm going to go ahead and describe it like this. I don't know if there's an afterlife, but if there is, I hope that it is some type of all-encompassing knowledge. And the reason that I want that to be is so that I actually know what happened here. And I'm going to go with the documentary, the 3-part documentary called Paradise Lost on HBO. It is the story, you guys familiar with the West Memphis 3?
Yeah.
So it is the story of 3, I think they believe they were 8-year-old boys
young.
that were bound and murdered and abused and their bodies dumped in Arkansas, and kind of ties into what you were talking about with the hysteria plot. Early 90s Arkansas, there were these 3 kids that were, wore all black, big Metallica fans, and that people saw them as odd, and that they thought that they were Satan worshipers and things like that. So they basically found a way to pin these murders on these 3 young boys. They were high school kids,
Yeah.
and they spent, oh God, I don't even know,
20 to
like
30,
years. I mean, up well into their
Years and
30s
years.
in prison
Yeah.
for these crimes in which they did not commit. And what's really cool, if you have not watched it, the Paradise Lost it's a trilogy. I believe the first one came out in I want to say 98. HBO did the first one.
Yeah.
The second one came out in 04, and then there's another one in
They just kept
2009.
keeping up with
Yeah,
the
they kept
story.
keeping up with the story,
Okay.
and there's this 3-part series that follows it as it goes. So it's really cool because it's in real time, and they're basically movies. The first one that you watch is present with that time and the information they had at the time.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. There's also a movie about it.
There was. Yeah, I
But
can't
Reese
remember it
Witherspoon
now.
plays the
Yeah.
mother of the one boy that was murdered. That's kind of how I got into it. Somebody let me borrow this movie way back when we let friends borrow DVDs, and that's how we saw things. And I was, I'm like, oh, this is a true story. So I started watching, and I am endlessly enamored by this story and who actually did it, because it's very clear and blatantly
The boys
obvious
didn't.
these kids did not.
Correct.
The problem
They
is
were coerced in the way the police did the interrogations and got the confessions was
one of the guys
bullshit.
that it admitted to, had an incredibly low IQ, and at that time would have certainly been deemed on the spectrum, or with some type
they
of
would have never been able to
challenge. Yeah, so
even present it.
right. So, but they were able to coerce this kid in, and then from there it just kept
Yeah.
rolling. So anyway, man, if you
And one of the guys
if you watch
that
any
is out
documentary in
now-
your life, Paradise Lost, those three, they're just fantastic.
and they're out now. I mean, spoiler
Yeah,
alert.
yeah, all three of them are.
And one of them, at least one of them, I know, takes up. He does a charity or what? Not charity, but he does victims advocates or people that are wrongfully accused. Like he holds up that
I
sort
think
of.
it's Damien Eccles, the one
that sort of charity type thing, where like that's his life goal is like nobody else should go what we did.
Yeah. So I highly recommend it, and like I said, I was just completely.
Yeah, it's a wild story.
I was enthralled.
You enjoy it.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
All right. Very good.
All right, Brian.
Great movie, 1988, full of many of my favorite cartoon actors and actresses at the time. Who Framed Roger
Nicely
Rabbit?
done. That's on my list too.
That's good.
Is it
Nice.
really?
I thought for sure nobody else would have that one. Nice.
Yeah, you sort of forget that it's a murder mystery. You don't know, of course, who framed Roger Rabbit.
Yep.
Right? So, again, another one of these movies, if you haven't seen it, it was one of the first that it's not one of the first. It had been a long time, put it that way. I remember it was like Mary Poppins. They had, Dick Van Dyke dancing with animated penguins and stuff like that. But that was something you didn't see a whole lot of with a live actor playing with animated actors.
And they really interacted him in that one, where like even kissing him and stuff. And I mean, they really, it wasn't. It was
Bob Hoskins in that movie was just his acting with animated characters around. I mean, acting around. There's been great performances with like Muppets and different things like that were very good in their own right. But him acting with animated characters, that's all it was. It was nothing but animated characters for most of the movie around him.
Yeah, he was a real straight man.
Like you would never if you would have like put somebody to watch that movie and like replace the animated characters with like people, you would think that he's doing a straight up goddamn movie. There's no other than some dialogue that refers to animation.
Yeah.
He plays it fucking straight.
Yeah. But again, the animation is great. The storyline is great. Acting phenomenal. I don't know, just a great movie. I haven't watched that in a while. We need to go back and check it out.
It's
and as we mentioned in prior episodes too.
Jessica Rabbit's made appearances in many of
one of the early animated characters where, as a young person, as a young guy, you're like, I shouldn't feel this way about an animated character. But
that's how I discovered what boners were at a very young age.
Sure, I get it.
I thought about Tasmanian Devil. So my next one.
You real wildcat.
I was like, oh, that's what it sounds like. So, my next one is Knives Out.
That's on my list as well.
Knives Out.
Great movie.
It came out, the second one
2019.
came out, the Onion.
That was only like 2 years ago, maybe?
Yeah.
Recent, yeah.
But like, the second one came out, and I hadn't seen any of them. Because for some reason it didn't appeal to me. I didn't, maybe the marketing. I don't know, but it just wasn't my deal. Megan made me watch it. First one, and I was fucking hooked. He is Daniel Craig plays the modern day.
Is it a Southern gentleman detective type character?
I can't remember quite right now. The Agatha Christie.
Yeah. Or Cube or whatever.
Yes. He plays the modern day Agatha Christie detective.
Yeah.
And it's so good. Like the cast is amazing. The writing, it's one of those movies where I was like, because like again, I was skeptic. And then, like, quarter way through, I'm like, yeah, that guy did it. And then, like, you're going, I'm like, at the end, you're just fucking blown away because, like, holy shit. Like, I didn't see that the way it was written. Beautifully written. The actors, the story, and even the sequel, the Onion
It was a
one,
good one.
and they're making
I
a
think they're
third
making
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved them, and I want to see more from Daniel Craig as that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he in that era, there's not a lot of actors that played James Bond,
Right,
one of the most prolific movie
and it's so
characters.
opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of those guys went on. I mean, some did. Certainly, Sean Connery had
Sure.
success in other movies, and
He couldn't
Pierce
believe it.
Brosnan and all that. But very quickly though, you're like, that's James Bond as whatever. But you
5 minutes
you
in,
forgot,
you
didn't even think
forget
James
about it
Bond.
because the
Yeah.
accent, the mannerisms,
Yeah.
like he's that character at that moment.
Yeah,
You've seen
Oh
it,
yeah,
right?
yeah, they're fantastic.
Dude, it's so good.
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, Knives Out is and the sequel and any other sequels coming forward.
Yeah.
They're on the list.
Right, that's my number 2.
Daniel Craig, with his acting, has created a character that can thrive in different movies
Right.
now
Yeah.
because they seem to be popular. So yeah, good for him.
Absolutely.
It's great.
Oh, is it me again?
Yeah, I think
It's
so,
you.
sir.
All right, my next one, I'm going to go with, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I actually think of it primarily as an incredible drama, but as I was thinking about it, I'm like, no, it's a murder mystery movie. Probably top 5 films of all time.
Top Gun.
No.
Oh.
No. Mystic River. Yeah, Sean Penn, Kevin Bacon,
Sure.
Tim Robbins. Great fucking movie.
That's
Have you guys
absolutely
seen
a murder mystery.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, you
Long
don't.
time,
You
man.
really. You don't know what happened until the very end, and it ties it all together. Such a great twist. I showed it to Robin a couple years ago for the first time.
Before that,
because she'd never seen it.
of the acting.
Oh
It's
my
just
god,
a-
it's incredible. I mean,
Have you ever
like,
seen it?
Man, it's been a long time. If I
fuck,
had
dude,
it.
it's
I
so
don't remember. I don't
good.
remember it. But that
It's
yeah.
it's compelling and awkward and
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yep.
Just like this
good.
podcast.
Brief
ladies and gentlemen.
synopsis: it's 3 friends that grew up together. Something traumatic happens to one of them, and then they all, they grew up. They stay in the same town, but as
grow
grown
apart.
men, they
Yeah.
just grew apart. Lives led them in different places, very different ends of the social spectrum or what have you. And one of the guys' daughters is murdered, and it alludes to it. It's just, it really has a lot of twists and turns. It keeps you guessing.
The society thinks one guy did it,
Yeah.
but the movie makes you question, and then the rest of the movie makes you find out
Yeah.
Okay.
who did it.
And it's heartbreaking. It really is.
Yes,
It's
it's-
sad.
yeah.
It's just so well done.
Was it Sean Penn won for that, right?
I don't know. He fucking should have if he didn't.
I think
Sean
Penn
Penn's
won
my
an
favorite
Oscar.
actor of all time. And
Dude,
like,
so
there is the
goddamn-
one
Yeah.
scene where he's screaming about, "Is that my daughter?" And I'm like, it gives me chills every time.
Yeah.
It's just such a good fucking movie. But yeah, Mystic River is a fantastic murder mystery.
Very good. I didn't. That wasn't even on my radar.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. Very good.
Brian, what you got?
7.
I got 7 too.
1995.
Yep.
What's in the box?
Mm.
What's in the
What's
box?
in the box?
One of the
So good.
most shocking twist endings. That was just shocking. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It was that stayed with you. That's the type of movie where it just, it had that residue on your brain for a long time.
You felt
after
a little
watching
icky.
That. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. But just again, tremendous acting.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey, Morgan Freeman, Brad
Dean
Brad
loves
Pitt.
Kevin Spacey.
You,
Ugh.
well,
Yeah,
but you lead up to it. It's a basic '90s cop movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
who done it, cool guy, and the old cop, and you're just kind of going about it, and then what? A little more than 3/4 of the way through, it fucking just shifts like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
And
Yeah,
like-
it's a really well
Dude,
done movie.
it's
I
so
loved it.
good.
Actually, if we're talking about it, I'm like, I went to a concert with a buddy of mine, with John, a few years back, and we're at the Foundry in Cleveland. And we went to go see a show, and if you're familiar with the Foundry, it's just the whole place is a long bar. They got food, they got beers, and in between bands, everybody just kind of hangs by the bar. And I'm sitting there and I'm eating a burger, waiting for the band to start, and they have 7 playing with the subtitles, and I'm like, enthralled because it had
you're
been
enthralled,
years since
sure.
I'd seen it, and I'm like, oh yeah, like just eating it up. Like it was. I'm like, I need to go home and watch this, like, because it just wasn't. Watching it on mute with subtitles was not enough. I'm like, now I came here to see a band, but I want to watch Seven instead. So
that movie is just it's like you said, enthralling.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, good one.
Dean?
My next movie, it's fun that it ties into Brian's movie because Kaiser Sose is a huge part of like that 1990s lure of bad guys who you try to figure out through the movie The Usual Suspects. You guys seen it?
Yeah, it's been a long time since I saw it. Yeah.
Well, spoiler alert, it's been 30 fucking years. Eat shit. At the end, throughout the movie, the police are interrogating all of these like half-wit kind of like mob people that are like, low lifes and, they're trying to figure out this crime. And the cops keep coming back to Kaiser Sose being the big boss. Right, that's who they want to get to. So they're questioning all of these. Benicio del Toro is one of them. Just a line of just scumbag lowlifes trying to get to Kaiser Sose, the big boss. And Kevin Spacey is like this fucking weirdo, like half-wit, his legs bum and like. And at the very end, the greatest twist, if you could Google greatest twist in cinemas in the 20th century, Usual Suspects will come up. Because at the end, the Kevin Spacey has been just this needy and incompetent actor, not actor, but
character.
The character. And at the end, they don't have anything, so they let everybody go. And Kevin Spacey limping away, and the limp turns into a walk, turns into a stride. He's been Kaiser Sose the whole time. Mm. And I know I just spoiled fucking everything. Because to watch...
Now I never need to see it.
Well, I know you guys don't watch shit I recommend, so I got no problem doing this. But it's honestly one of the, especially in the 90s, one of the biggest, like, fuck you moments in movies. Because you're watching this, it's a murder mystery. You're watching, this crime that they're trying to figure out, and then at the end they're like, oh, they can't figure it out. They can't. We kind of know who did it, but... they never found Kaiser Sose. And then, like, the scene is of Kevin Spacey limping, and they got, like, it's from behind, and it's his leg, and then it just he kind of fucking morphs into walking into, like, and you find out, oh, shit. And then they do a flashback of, like, the things you didn't see in the background of all these scenes throughout the movie, that he was Kaiser Sose, the big boss the whole time.
I love that shit. I love when they like, kind of show the hand at the end.
And
like, oh, here's
again, I would never have done this. Y'all probably have seen it, and I know you would never have watched it. So, but even if you watch it now, you would still appreciate how good Kevin Spacey was, and this movie is.
Clip that. You would appreciate how good Kevin Spacey was.
Yeah.
Promo.
Yes. All right. So, Usual Suspects is my next movie.
All right. I think I might be on my last one because I had two of my. I had an honorable mention, but both were taken by Brian already. So, I think the last one I have on my list is another documentary that is a real murder mystery, and I picked it mostly because. At the time it came out, it really took everybody by storm, and we, like, Robin and I were just fucking addicted to it.
E.T.
It's not E.T. Making a Murderer. This is the guy in Wisconsin that may or may not have been rightfully or wrongfully accused
Yeah.
of the murder of
Do you know
this-
how many people E.T. murdered?
I don't. A lot. Yeah.
Sorry,
a
go
lot
ahead.
of
Well, then it's not a mystery if you know that.
That's true.
So it doesn't count.
That's true.
Anyway, Making a Murderer. Yeah, no, like, it was just one of those. It was, I think, one of the. I don't want to claim that it put Netflix on the map, but it was certainly as far
it
as
was a phenomenon.
early days of Netflix
Yes.
and their own
It was the
documentaries. It
was the
everybody
early
was
joy of
watching
the
it.
pandemic.
No, this is way before the pandemic. This is before like Oliver was born. I think
Yes.
Wayne was a baby. Like we were watching this in like
2016, 2015.
I want to say before that. It was. I want
I
to
was
say
there.
2013.
I was thinking of the
20
goddamn Tiger King. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But it was Tiger King
It was
before
Tiger.
that.
Yeah, it was
Sure.
Tiger King. Yeah,
Everybody
before
was
that.
talking about it.
Yeah, and like we would
Well,
start to
Massey.
see these. Huh?
Right, Massey? That was the guy?
Dassey. Brendan Dassey is
Yeah,
the.
Dassey.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
they're again similar thing.
Yeah.
Where they kind of got this kid with a not very high IQ in a room, and this poor fucking kid, all he wanted to go home and do was watch
Brian got me
WrestleMania.
to do with the
He kept asking
podcast.
if he answered their questions, could he be home in time to watch WrestleMania?
Oh yeah.
And that it was
Screwed over.
again, it's brutal, so sad. They're like, yeah, we'll figure out a way to get you to watch WrestleMania. We just need you to say what we need to hear and
I
whatever.
really hope you watched
And
that
it's on.
WrestleMania.
I don't think so. And it was,
Shit.
you know what? I think it was WrestleMania 2000, which was a fucking good one too.
That's a
if
good
I
one.
It was a good one. I could be wrong on the WrestleMania year. I don't know, but WrestleMania 2000 was a good one.
Most WrestleManias are good.
They are, yeah. Anyway, it was, yeah, like just one of those things. Everybody seemed to be watching it all at the same time, and we were just completely enthralled. We couldn't stop watching it. And I know they've made follow-up series. I've not kept up with the case and the trials and all that stuff because there's been different things where he's, with that documentary coming out, people have made motions to reopen cases and things like that. So I don't know where that currently stands, but culturally, at the time, we're talking circa 20. I want to say like 2013, 20 somewhere around there. Like, Making a Murderer was a huge deal and really fun to watch at the time.
It was just fascinating because he managed to get out
Yeah, he made it out. He
of
was
a huge situation, and then
ended
got
up
put
right back in there.
fucked up.
Yep.
Got put right back in jail again, and he's stuck in there again to where he it was fascinating.
Yeah.
Like you said, it was fascinating.
And a little bit like sad. That's not trying to be mean or whatever, but it was also funny. Like just the thing we would sit there and laugh because it's literally very lower class Wisconsin town. I mean, just the way they
Poor dumb people.
yes, wrong, but also that's essentially. We were just the things that they say to each other and the phone conversations that they had, and it just. I don't know. It was a little bit humorous, but also it really kept your mind engaged, and you're like, "What the fuck happened here?" Like, and in that, at least in the original series that was released, we could never really come down on one way or the other. It was like a 50-50. It's like maybe he did do it. Kind of seems maybe like
Still
he did. We
unanswered
still don't
question.
know. Still don't know.
Yep.
But Brian.
Well, let's see. I had an overlap with Only Murders in the Building. Rear Window. I'll pull that from my honorable mentions. Rear Window. That is an Alfred Hitchcock movie with the great Jimmy Stewart, who played in a few Alfred Hitchcock movies. You know, when you think about that, but
Vertigo, right?
yeah,
Yep.
there's a couple of them he was in, but this particular movie, it's a very basic premise. It was a prolific, I think it was a writer or something in the movie, but he was confined to a wheelchair.
Right.
He was hung up, his legs in a cast, and he's in New York when it's like in a courtyard of apartments, and as a pastime, he's just, watching the neighbors. Just kind of
it's like
seeing who's going what. He
binoculars.
sort of picks up on, storylines within the apartment buildings. This guy seems to be having an affair. What's going on here? What's going on there? And he catches a situation. It looks like someone murdered somebody. And so the rest of the movie, he's just trying to figure out. He's trying to piece it together. Who murdered this person, and then
You're not only trying to figure out, who murdered this person, but like did a murder actually even take place?
Well, that's true. You're right.
Like
right. It
there's
looks like you're correct.
yeah. There's two
looks like someone was
mysteries
murdered.
as
That's
the
right.
viewer that
That's
you're
right.
trying to do.
Yeah.
That's right. That's exactly what it was. Was this woman killed? And then he's trying to piece it together,
Right.
and then it gets pretty tense. So then it's the added tension as well because he's helpless. He's confined to this
Yeah,
wheelchair.
he's the viewer as you are.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
That's cool.
And one of the most beautiful things of all of that is when you know that you've made pop culture, The Simpsons remade that whole, in one of their episodes, remade that movie.
Yeah.
And I think it was one of the Halloween episodes or something.
Treehouse of Terror.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, Simpsons did it over, but yeah,
Okay.
good pick.
Plus, again, it's Hitchcock and Jimmy Stewart. So
I'm gonna have to
can't
check
go
that
wrong.
out.
It's
Right.
very
I'm a
good. You
big
can find it
fan
on
of both
streaming
of
for
those, so,
free.
yeah.
It's
Right.
very, very good. Easy watch. Excellent movie.
All right, so I had Only Murders in the Building also. So I'm going to go, well, Nick went reality, so I'm going to go also. As through our childhood, who didn't love the unsolved mysteries? The Robert Stack, the music, the tone, the voice.
Yeah.
Who didn't? I don't know about you guys, but like that scared the shit out of me sometimes.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
some of the stories and shit that they did, just even the sound of it was like frightening, right?
Yeah.
And then like I don't know about you, but like
And his narration was great.
so good.
Yeah.
And then like you heard that
Oh yeah.
where like they like update. You're like, oh, did they find him? Did they find him?
now?
Please help me tell me they find him, dude. And they never did. It was like some weird update of like it was close, but you know. But fuck, Robert Stack's voice
Yeah.
was just brilliant and scary, and yeah. So Unsolved Mysteries is my next.
Yeah.
Nice.
Scare a lot of 80s kids.
Absolutely.
sure. As we should have been scared.
Right.
Prepare for life.
That's right.
You know?
It got so much scarier than
That's
you
why
ever
we're
would have thought.
prepared, and those little
Yeah.
fuckers aren't.
That's right. That's right. Is that all of them? Honorable mentions, or you have another one?
My honorable mentions were taken
I got
by
two.
you actually.
Okay.
Two of mine. Haunting in Venice.
I have that one too. Very good one.
So good. Like that was one that like Megan watched, and she's like, "Oh, you're gonna love it." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
But I watched it. Huge fan. Huge fan.
That's the newest of the more modern Agatha
Correct.
Christie
Correct.
novel movies, 2023.
Yeah.
I agree with
Kenneth Branagh.
Yes.
Not only is the main detective for Agatha Christie, but he's also like the producer and shit of those movies.
Yeah, that last one was just beautifully shot.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you weren't sure if it was a horror movie
Yeah.
or if it
It was
was.
spooky.
Yeah.
I think it came out, I want to say, last year around Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
You know,
good.
It's out
So
there on
good.
streaming, yeah.
Excuse me. The other one, Sherlock Holmes in general. The TV shows, the movies.
Sure.
I wanted to just pay homage to the original murder mystery
Yeah.
that is Sherlock Holmes. There's been books and movies and TV and
And hats.
hats,
Yep.
pipes, and all that.
right.
So
That's good.
Sherlock Holmes in general. So
Very good. Let's see. Well, honorable mentions. I had we mentioned Clue already. Haunting in Venice, as you just said. The Fugitive.
ooh,
Harrison Ford,
Oh, yeah.
1993. Now
Yep.
they had
And
a
with the
television series. This is based on the television series, the movie. But again, very enthralling
But-
role for him. And go ahead.
but you know it's based upon the story from Cleveland. Shepard, who had had his wife killed.
Okay.
He was, I don't want to say, I know, goddamn it, this is an Alan Shepard, but he went to space. But last name Shepard.
Okay.
He was a surgeon in Cleveland, and his wife was murdered, and he was accused for it. He went to jail for a little bit, and then they had a retrial, and because a lot of it, like there was a guy that he chased down the beach and beat up and stuff. Like there's a lot of, and Shepard got out. Not only Shepard, he actually ended up being a professional wrestler. He was the one that created the heart punch. But yeah, the story is based upon. He is a Shepard, last name Shepard, from Cleveland, a surgeon whose wife was killed, and he went to jail for years. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not remember that. Okay. And this slasher movie became a series that was very clever and taking a different twist on the slasher films. Scream, 1996. So
Again.
that very interesting concept. You did not know who the killer was, and
Until
they kind
the
of twist
very
and turns
fucking
throughout
end.
the movie.
Yep.
And then every movie since, it's the same type of
Yeah,
concept.
even
You don't know
different
who
iterations,
is
you're
the
right.
ghost mask guy,
Yep.
right? So, yeah, very cool, very clever.
Nice.
That's what we got. So what's the elements, quickly? What are the elements?
Well,
of
there
a
has to be
good
murder, and then you have to not know who
mystery?
did it.
There you have it.
There you go.
Well, not necessarily. Now, we talked about that.
Yeah. You
There's
could
different
find out
ways
early.
to do it.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
It is honestly
murder,
the
and
big-
someone has to not know who did it.
Well, do you have a preference? But that's another part. Do you have a preference in? Do you like the not knowing who and finding out, or do you prefer knowing what happened and watching the
Knowing-
detectives work their way
knowing
through
everything that we've seen over the past whatever years, I actually prefer more of the plot twists of you know who they give you the ending. I enjoy knowing at the ending, and I enjoy the writer giving you this, weaving you through the story, and then confusing you towards the end of like, he did it, but yada yada.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind going, yeah, this is Ted Bundy, but look how we get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
The story is better than the ending to me.
I agree, but I would frame it in this way. I respect that way of storytelling that, like, I'm going to give you the end, but like what you said, I respect that more. But personally, I enjoy more being along for the ride.
Okay.
Like, I don't, I
Okay.
enjoy trying to figure it out as we go. That's more fun for me.
Sure.
But I respect the hell out of somebody that can give you the ending and then make a compelling story even though you know where it goes.
If you're going to do that, though, I need the movie or TV show to be from the perspective of the person. So you're the eyes.
Sure. Yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't want to be the overcast and to see everything going on. I want to be confused as, oh, this character is being told this, so you don't know this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Rather than like you're watching of this character was told this, oh, because of this, because I'm watching this as a camera type deal. If you're gonna do that, I want to be part of the weave.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, the easy answer is it depends on the story.
Sure.
But I think the ones that entertain me the most are those where you're sort of, like you say, you don't know. It's a true whodunit.
Yeah.
And you
Right.
walk through the eyes of the detective or whatever it is in the movie and to piece things together so you have your own idea of who did it, and it's a lot of fun to find out were you right or not right or whatever
Right.
it is,
Yeah.
So yeah. But all right, very good. Well, one thing that is not a mystery is that we are at the end of our 4-year episode.
That's right. I can tell you who done it.
Can't tell you
Gen X
why.
Brian,
Who smelt it, dealt it, ladies and gentlemen.
Zennial Dean, Millennial Nick. We
That's
done
right.
it. That's right.
That's
4
right.
years.
That's right.
No mystery here.
No.
Anyway, outro. You guys are looking at me. I'm sorry.
you do
I
the
let us say I
goddamn
didn't know
outro.
that. Yeah,
That was pretty
well,
good.
You know,
All right, well,
dropped the ball there.
The
You
magic
did.
of editing.
You dropped the ball. So not a lot of people get to witness this part of the show. Nikolai, I'm going to call you out.
Yeah.
You're going to do the outro
Okay.
in a Sherlock Holmes-esque detective 19th century deal.
Well, my dear boy, allow me to tell you where to find your favorite podcast. You might be asking yourself, what the fuck is a podcast? Well, a podcast is a grouply meeting of three friends representing three different generations called Convincing Idiots. So, fire up your fancy computer machine and go to Google, type in Convincing Idiots Linktree. There you will find the answers to all your most desired questions, such as, what is their Facebook page? Where are they at on Instagram? Are they on X or Twitter? All of your answers are there for you. Those and so much more. For that, as well as a merch store in which you can buy stylish clothing for yourself, and ways that you can be a patron to the show, you can go to their website, which is convincingidiots.wordpress.com. So, for this episode of Convincing Idiots, I have been Millennial Nick.
I am Zennial Dean.
Elementary. Gen X Brian.
We don't need to do any more convincing of ourselves or you. We want to thank you if you have only joined us for this episode or any of the episodes of the last 4 years. We appreciate you. We appreciate each other, I think.
For the most
And
part.
for this episode of Convincing Idiots, thank you very much. Happy anniversary to us. Happy Halloween to you. Go vote whichever way you choose to do so. And
do
we'll
it the
see
right
you here
way.
next week on Convincing Idiots.
Hey, Dean with Convincing Idiots. Brian and Nick here. Like and subscribe.
Ham grape.
Let's let Megan be the objective observer.
What?
Is it crooked and slanted a
Slightly.
little bit, or is that just me?
This grape.
Yeah.
Back the other way.
Back the other way.
You went past.
No. I think that might be it.
I think that's it.
I think
You
that's it.
captured it.
There?
That's it.
Did you just down that?
It is recording, right? Yeah, okay.
Are you centered?
Got 15 minutes till it kicks in. Better drive fast.
All right, brother.
See you, buddy.
See you, bud. Safe.
You're centered, right?
Spiritually, or?
Yes.
Yes. No, we're a little bit.
Yeah,
We
I
can all
think it's
scoot
from
towards
this
Brian
way.
a little bit. I feel like
You're
he's in.
you're the director. Yeah.
Do you want me to
Yes.
move the whole thing this way? a little?
Yeah, tripod, and I'll just slide in.
It looks different because,
The guitar's there.
right.
I mean, I think it looks fine. I think we're a little bit closer to Dean's side, but it's okay. I mean, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Main thing is we get the sound.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dope.
What are we doing tonight? Joking.
How many segments?